A tenuous tale suggesting Martial wants to leave United. He doesn't. This week shot Martial's name up to third in the UK trends on Twitter. That the source had erroneously claimed in August that Tottenham had bid for Martial was irrelevant. It was Martial. They're ubiquitous, the Martial handles. Martialholic. Simply Martial. Essential Martial. Martial Factor. Mrs. Martial. Martial FC. United have fueled the phenomenon by actually using the Martial FC hashtag on their Twitter account, and the top replies are usually along the lines of "give admin a raise." Martial FC last accompanied a picture of the Frenchman arriving ahead of the February Chelsea fixture. "We feast," it read. Martial was substituted and has not completed 90 minutes since. Yet Martial is no ordinary bench warmer among the Twitterati, and his popularity is difficult to gauge for older heads. Ashley Young boasts 500,000 more followers than Martial and has performed at a higher level in the last 7 months, but is probably never going to earn a Young EFC hashtag. United's transfer relationship with Real Madrid has changed, so how has Martial attained cult status? The 22-year-old plays in an enthralling position and has emerged with a crop of quicksilver French forwards like Kylian Mbappé, Thomas Lemar and Ousmane Dembélé. Mbappé and Lemar, like Martial, have played for Monaco, and United supporters are understandably of the opinion Martial is another £100 million Gallic player in the making. Real Madrid named Martial as one of 3 United players' situations they asked to be kept informed of. Martial was the FIFA 17 cover star, too. It is the universal football video game aimed at the Martialholic demographic, and 2 of the highest Anthony Martial searches on Google are FIFA 18 and Foothead, essentially the avatar detailing players' FIFA stats. United must prioritize atmosphere with Old Trafford expansion. The France international's arrival also intensified United's siege mentality. You will have seen a national newspaper's back page writing Martial off as a waste of money, before he had kicked a ball on the basis of an independent transfer review which valued him at £11.6 million. Martial, bought on deadline day for a fee rising to £58 million, did scream panic buy. Love at first sight for many Reds is scoring against Liverpool on your debut, and Martial plundered as many goals in his first 4 United games as Radamel Falcao did in the previous season. United season ticket holder Hesham Bilal Hafiz, 21, was particularly concerned by the Martial reports this week and endorsed tweets by users who treated them as fact. From the perspective of a Martial-phile, he explains just why the forward is so revered by the younger faction. Martial's last at Old Trafford goal was 3 months ago. I can't remember any United attacker his age performing as well as he did in his first season, Bilal Hafiz says. And even more so with his price tag hovering over him. So right from the off, after some press wrote him off before he even started, he was an underdog backed by the United fans who prayed he was a success. Rashford is great, but also it annoys fans how the class of '92 blindly back him over Martial. The media seems to have an inherent bias towards the English talent over the foreign one. That has seen a bit of a backlash with fans. As harsh as it seems, I think the view of many is that on the pitch Martial's ceiling is astonishing, and he is capable, as a regular, of bagging 20 goals and 10 assists a season. Unlike Rashford, United fans are glad about what happened to Gianluigi Buffon. Point taken. There is a fiercer focus on Rashford in certain quarters because of his nationality, and at the start of the season, back when Rashford and Martial started every other game, reiterated that Martial is the superior talent. Rashford has netted more top 6 goals, 7, than Martial, 3, only the latter is a viral crowd-pleaser worthy of gifs, be it leaving Real Madrid players strewn like a set of cricket stumps or ending an opponent's career, e.g. Membrane Diouf and Andros Townsend. Martial also provided the highlight of the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era for many supporters, as well as this correspondent. He stormed through the Everton defence and then the Barricades to celebrate clinching a first United Cup final in 5 years in April 2016. Some Bury United fans then charged into the press box, aptly singing, English press said he had no chance. Ultimately, Martial is in danger of starting fewer matches this term than last and has not scored since Alexis Sanchez joined. There is an air of entitlement, apparent via his puerile reaction to having the number 9 revoked from him, and, under Jose Mourinho, he struggles to perform in successive matches. Martial's cowed start at Huddersfield in October set the tone for defeat, and if he was so consistent on the left, Mourinho would not have felt impelled to sign Sanchez. United have already confirmed they want to keep Anthony Martial. Mourinho actually sympathized with Martial at the start of last season when domestic issues clouded his judgment. His head is in the clouds, a concerned senior United source said. Mourinho only dropped Martial from one game in the opening 2 months and had penciled him in to start at Anfield until injury struck. Sanchez did not oust Martial at first, either. They started together against Tottenham and Newcastle, and United lost both games before injury killed any morsel of momentum. Matchgoers have not sung Martial's name with much gusto lately, yet Mourinho has still provided assurances. "We have Alexis, we have Romelu Lukaku, we have Martial, we have Rashford," Mourinho said on February 9. Rashford can play on the left and on the right, Alexis is exactly the same. All of them apart from Lukaku can also play from behind, they can also play as a second striker. Mourinho instructs Martial at Newcastle, "It's bad for you, the media, because you like to have things to write and things to speculate, especially in the summer, but I don't want attacking players, so don't speak about attacking players coming here because nobody is coming here. Juan Mata, Lukaku, Rashford, Martial, Alexis. I don't want attacking players, so for speculation in the summer you have to go to other areas, but for attacking players I am really happy." Then 2 weeks later, when some of you keep saying that we are going to buy that striker, that winger, that left winger, that right winger, I told you 2 months ago. You can accuse me of many things, but you cannot say that I lied to you. When I don't want to say things, I don't say. But I don't take you in other directions. When I told you a couple of months ago that we don't want to sign any striker or any winger, and, yes, we are looking and we are going to try to sign a midfield player, United fans mock Liverpool great Steven Gerrard after David De Gea dig. Would Mourinho renege on that pledge following Zlatan Ibrahimovic's departure? "We have Lukaku and Marcus as number 9s, Mourinho explained. "Of course, Marcus can play right and left, but Marcus is a striker. So Lukaku and Rashford. Alexis can play as a striker, Martial can play as a striker, so without having a replica of Lukaku we have 3 more players who can play as a 9 if we don't have Lukaku. Martial is lacking playing time but not followers." Get all the latest Manchester United news first with our new app. Download it here now.